Hello, I am Aryan, and for my 4th grade mission project, I am presenting Mission San Carlos Borromeo. This mission is in Carmel. It was founded by Father Junipero Serra, and it is the second of the 9 missions he established in Alta California. The mission consists of 5 major areas. The areas are the Basilica Church, the centerpiece of the mission, and 4 museums that surround it. The museums are the Harry Downey Museum, the Joe Mora Gallery, the Munraz Family Museum, and the Convento Museum. Let's walk through Mission San Carlos Borromeo. So to my right, there is a beautiful garden with a fountain and a statue. And right in front of me, there is the centerpiece of the mission, the Basilica Church. And to the right and left of the Basilica Church, there are museums. Before getting into the Basilica Church, I will talk about the museums. Right now, I'm standing outside the Joe Mora Chapel Museum. So let's go inside and take a look. Now that we're inside, in front of me, you can see the cenotaph sculpted by Joe Mora in 1924. It is a tribute to Father Junipero Serra, who was buried here in the mission's Basilica Church at the base of the altar. Another thing that will catch your eye is the Joe Mora altar. This contains a few of Father Serra's belongings, such as candlesticks, a large crucifix, a vestment, amongst many other things. Right across the courtyard from the Joe Mora Chapel Museum, there is the Sir Harry Downey's Museum. So let's go inside and take a look at this museum now. In 1860, the mission was given back to the Native Americans. But since the Native Americans did not know how to handle the mission soon fell in ruins. And in 1930, Sir Harry Downey, an architect, came to the mission and took on the job of restoring it. I see many cabinets in this museum which showcase art and tools that would have helped restore this mission.
He oversaw the construction of the churches and worked as a day laborer himself.
This cabinet shows many Native American artifacts, such as mortars, pictures, walahin baskets, amongst many other things. Right now we are walking into a room which showcases many of Harry Downey's tools, architectural drawings, models, and artwork which he built. And right in the center of the room, there is an area that looks like Harry Downey's workspace. This area consists of many tools such as saws, hand drivers, and hammers, along with many other things. This is a model of a facade of a mission made by Harry Downey when he was 12 years old. And this is a portrait of Harry Downey himself. Adjacent to the Harry Downey Museum, there is the cemetery of the mission. To my left, there are many marked graves, and Harry Downey and his wife Mabel Downey are buried in this graveyard. To my right, there are many unmarked graves, so I have no idea who's buried there. And each grave has an abalone shell on top of a holy cross made from sticks. Past the cemetery and behind the Basilica Church, there is the Munraz Museum. So let's go inside and check out this. This building and all of its contents were donated by a prominent Monterey family called the Munras. This is what children from that time used to play with. They had playing cards and dice, and girls used to wear dresses like this shown. And there's a patch with all of the alphabets on it from A to Z. And here, to my left, there are cooking utensils and copper pots. There are also woven baskets and the entire Munra family tree. And then there is a small area over here that shows the Munra living room. It shows their couch, their portraits. It shows a shawl that belonged to the person who donated this entire building on a mannequin. And it shows a china cabinet filled with china and many other things that belong to the Munras. In 1770, the mission was originally built in Monterey, but the soldiers at a nearby Presidio were treating the Indians badly. So in 1771, Father Junipero Serra decided to move the mission to this beautiful location of Carmel. The fresh water source and good soil helped them grow many crops, such as wheat, barley, corn, beans, and other vegetables. Now I am standing in the main courtyard of the mission, where most of the mission activity would have happened. To my right is the area where the Native Americans and priests would have cooked their meals. In the front of me, there are the schools where the Native American children would have gone to. And behind me, there are the living quarters where the priests would have stayed. The tribes that would have stayed in this mission would have been the Rumsen tribe of the Costanoan family, and the Eslen tribe were the principal groups whose members joined the missions. I am now walking towards the Serra Memorial, built in 2011 in honor of Father Junipero Serra. In the middle of the memorial, there's a restored mission bell, and on the ground there are many prayers. There's a prayer written by Junipero Serra that says, "Always go forward and never turn back." Right now we are in the Convento Museum, which shows how Father Serra lived his life. Now I will show you Father Serra's room, which consists of a bed, a chest, a chair, a desk with some books, and some other things. The room seems more like a cell than a room though. And this is a map of the California missions. There are 21 missions in all, and the mission which I am studying, San Carlos Borromeo, is the second mission way up there. This shows the typical room of a padre who would have lived here in 1810. It consists of chairs, a desk, a chest, and a cot where the padre would have slept. There are also paintings and other portraits. Right now we're standing in the kitchen of Franciscan Convento, where they would have cooked food for the padres and their guests. This is where they would have stored fresh water. And this is where they would have cooked all of the food. I am standing in a room that shows Father Junipero Serra's private library. This is thought to be the very first library in California. Here is the library itself, with many shelves of books, a chair, and a desk with a candle where Father Junipero Serra would have read. I am in a place that was originally a dining area, but is now converted into an area that holds many interesting things. I am standing beside a wooden carriage that would have been used to pull crops from the farms into the mission. This is a carving of Soul in Purgatory, originally placed on a gate of a mission cemetery. There are mission bells and statues, and there is a big statue up there. Well, not statue, but there is a carving that shows the mission in Monterey. And there is even a crown with a holy cross on top of it. And over here, this was used to mark brands onto the cattle. And this is a saddle which would have been put on a horse, so that way they could ride the horse. These were also used to put brand marks on cattle. Now this is a confession box where there'd be a curtain drawn across, and you could tell so no one could tell who you are, and then you could tell your sins to a father, as if confessing your sins to God Himself. So that way you would be sin-free and could go to heaven after you died, I guess. And over here are many musical instruments such as triangles, noisemakers, violins, flutes. And here is a book filled with holy hymns. Now we are finally going to enter the centerpiece of the mission, the Basilica Church. So let's go inside and see what this church has to offer. Father Serra believed that the best things were to be offered to the gods. So you'll see many gold in the architecture, the wooden carvings, and in the artifacts. When you enter the Basilica, you see the 30-foot arched corridors and the chandeliers. Here I am in the Basilica, lighting a candle in front of a beautiful statue of Mother Mary. Here I am at the altar. At the base of the altar is where Father Junipero Serra was buried. You can see the detail and gold in the woodwork of the altar. As I walk down the aisle, I see beautiful paintings and statues on both sides of the walls. Here there is a golden portrait of Mother Mary. Behind me there is a statue of Jesus Christ holding a holy cross. We are looking at a portrait of Father Junipero Serra. This concludes my 4th grade mission project on Mission San Carlos Borromeo, named after the Saint Charles of Borromeo, a 16th century Italian cardinal.